Guys, Brazil is so cooked. I am honestly more embarrassed right now to be a Brazilian than I was when we lost 7-1 to Germany in 2014. At this rate, we might not even qualify for the World Cup, and I'm being genuinely serious about that. Brazil has been lost. The Brazil national team has been lost for quite some time, and it seems like we're on a downward spiral and it's just out of control, and I don't know what else to say. I'll just put the clip here. Felipe Melo, ex-Brazil national team player, he says it all. Just listen to this and I'll put the translation on the screen.
Agora acabou o jogo, primeiro tempo, o Brasil querendo brigar. O Brasil tem que brigar entre eles, tem que chegar no vestiário e sair todo mundo na porrada. Sai na porrada, pra um bem maior, pro bem da seleção. Brigam com o outro, pô, temos que correr, temos que... Sabe? Não tem que brigar com a Argentina não, pô. A Argentina brigou dentro de campo. A Argentina brigou dentro de campo e fez o que tem que fazer dentro de campo. Agora não tem que brigar com ninguém não. Os caras têm que agora brigar entre si, escutar o que o treinador tem que falar e voltar com outro tipo de jogo, de atitude. Não teve atitude, tem que ter atitude. É muito bom jogador que o Brasil tem pra pouca atitude. E outra, a partir de agora, falou pra mim que o Brasil não precisa do Neymar, eu tô bloqueando, hein? Chegou pra mim e falou assim, ai, Brasil, comentou aqui, ai, o Neymar, com uma pena só, é 10 da seleção brasileira. Pessoal, vem aqui pra dentro, muito barulho lá fora. Assim, o Brasil, ontem foi falado muita coisa antes do jogo, né? E a Argentina entrou em campo para uma decisão. A Argentina entrou em campo para uma decisão, e o Brasil não. Então, eu acho que o 3-1 foi até pouco. 3-1 pra cá, que, poxa, o Brasil mudando a atitude pro segundo tempo, dá pra empatar, pô. Mas tem que mudar de atitude, pô. Quem me acompanha aqui, eu falei antes de começar o jogo, Brasil, pra ganhar esse jogo, o Brasil tem que estar nos stories anteriores, veja bem, o Brasil tem que ganhar os duelos. Tem que ganhar a primeira bola, a segunda, tem que ganhar os duelos, tem que duelar, tem que ganhar os duelos. Tá perdendo todos os duelos, pô. Tem que mudar a atitude.
So in that clip, he is talking about the game against Argentina. But honestly, this has been going on for too long. It's been going on for way too long. And here's where I think that it's going completely and totally wrong. This is not just my opinion, by the way. This is the opinion of a lot of professional footballers in Brazil and a lot of professional coaches in Brazil. It is not only my opinion, it is just what we observe from back in the day versus today. Matter of fact, I won't even say it. I'll just play the clip of ex-Real Madrid and Brazil national team coach Vanderlei Luxemburgo. I'll just let him say everything that I've been thinking.
Não consigo entender e precisa de mudar urgente porque nós estamos perdendo nossa qualidade de jogar futebol. Criança de 10 a 14 anos, 10 a 13 anos, treina em campo 20 por 20 esburacado de barro, pra perder a cabeça do dedo arrancando a unha, cara. Pra ralar o rabo no chão. Aí é que você forma jogador. Eles ficam botando criança pra treinar parte tática com 13 anos, 12 anos, jogando em campo sem déficit 75. Sabe quantas vezes esse moleque pega na bola? 10 vezes. Sabe quantas vezes ele pega na bola no campo 20 por 20? 500 vezes. E outra coisa você vai ver assim, não dribla, passa a bola. Faz 1-2, não dribla, passa a bola. 1-2, faz a dribla, passa a bola, 1-2, passa a bola. Cara, estão acabando com o futebol brasileiro. A minha ideia é fazer o seguinte, voltarmos nas nossas origens, e fazer campo de barrão para voltar a criança a praticar futebol no campo de barrão, de areia. Você vai trabalhar melhor o teu cognitivo, a percepção ela sai natural, ela não é induzida, habilidade, técnica, sair de apuro.
This opinion of mine is not new. It's not a new opinion. As I said, I put on the screen Vanderlei Luxemburgo saying the exact same thing, and that is that Brazil lost its essence and its style of play because we don't play on the streets anymore. Nowadays, if you go to Brazil, you don't see very often little kids playing on the street, having competitions, 3v3, 2v2, 4v4, 5v5, 6v6 on the streets, just with that little penalty ball, that little futsal ball, or even just like whatever kind of soccer ball that they have available to them. They're playing on the asphalt, they're playing in the roads, they're playing with trying to avoid rocks, they're playing barefoot, and they're falling, they're getting their knees cut up, they're getting their elbows cut up, and they're just learning. One, they're learning how to dribble. They're learning how to improvise, get out of situations. Two, they're learning to be tough. They are learning how to take a fall. They're learning how to defend. They're learning how to be tough when it comes to someone that's skillful. And three, they're learning how to be smart. They're learning decision making. They're learning, not necessarily playing dirty, but being smart about things, managing a situation, just little things like that Brazil used to have that we don't have anymore. And I honestly think that comes down to just that fact. We don't play on the streets anymore. When I was a kid and I would go to Brazil during the summers to go see my family, that was the thing I would do all summer long, was just be in the streets playing soccer in the streets. That's how I got to learn how to play. Honestly, that's how I learned how to play. I didn't learn it at the club level. I didn't learn it to the extent at any other level here in the US. I learned it playing on the streets of Brazil. That is just the truth. I would play with whoever was available, with neighbors that were my age or a little bit older. I would play with whoever came to join. Honestly, there would be like normal kids. There would be drug dealers. There would be gang members. There would be dangerous people. But we would all just kind of come in and unite and play soccer just for those 2-3 hours. It didn't matter. A lot of times, what would we do? We would we'd all pitch in. We'd get a 2-liter Coca-Cola, right? We'd get a 2-liter Coca-Cola. And I recommend you guys do this. Get a 2-liter thing of Coca-Cola on a hot day in Brazil and just play street soccer. And the winner of the whole tournament got that 2 liters of Coca-Cola as a prize. That was literally how we did things back then. That is exactly how things were done. And it was so competitive. It was so good. It was such a high level that was when I actually got scouted to go try out and play for Flamengo. So I tried out for Flamengo, and the way I got ready for that tryout was playing on the streets. That's the main problem. Now, there's another problem that Vanderlei Luxemburgo also mentions in other podcasts and speaking with other coaches, and that is that these Brazilian players are leaving Brazil way too early because the money in Europe is just too good to pass up. Football is a business at the end of the day, so these Brazilian clubs don't want to turn down these big money moves for young players. So they just ship them off to Europe, even though they barely have any experience. If you think of who is our best player, who's been our best player for the past 10 years, has been Neymar. Neymar has been our best player. But what happened to him? He won everything in Brazil. He didn't go to Brazil prematurely. He could have. West Ham made an offer for him back when no one knew him. Real Madrid could have gotten him when he was 13 years old. But that didn't happen. Instead, he went through the ranks at Santos and he won everything with Santos. And he scored hundreds of goals for Santos. So he got that maturity playing at the level in Brazil and being able to be free, being able to express himself, and then going off to Europe and reaching new heights. But most of these players will go when they're raw, when they're young, and they'll just get shipped off to Europe because these clubs are after the money. So we need a huge change in perspective if we want Brazilian soccer to get back the way it used to be. We need these players to stay longer in Brazil. We need these players to develop longer in Brazil. We need these players to prove themselves in Brazil first before going out to Europe. I mean, if you look at Endrick, for example, Endrick is at Real Madrid. He's on the bench. He's a great player, fantastic. He's 18 years old, 19 years old, but he played and proved himself at Palmeiras first. That was the first thing he did. He went through the ranks at Palmeiras, he scored tons of goals, and he won trophies and titles. So he deserves to be in Europe. He deserves to be developing there. But most of these players don't have that experience. Will we ever see Brazilian football be what it used to be? I really don't know. I really don't think so. I don't think we have that essence anymore. I think that football's too business oriented now. It's too business minded now for Brazilian football to really survive the way it used to in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, even the 90s, early 2000s. I think it's too business oriented. I think that clubs and the people surrounding the clubs care too much about the money and not the development of players. And I think that that's leading to Brazil's downfall in the end, because it's not about winning a World Cup. It's not about expressing yourself. It's not about having those talents anymore. It's now about the money. And we need a change. Brazil needs a change. Brazil needs a huge change in the football culture. We need the football culture to be back to what it used to be when I was a kid. Anyways, that's the end of my rant. I don't want to rant for too long. Hope you enjoyed my downfall. For all the Argentinians that will be watching this video, I hope you enjoy a Brazilian suffering. I hope you enjoy it, because you won't see it for long. Remember, we still have 5 World Cups. We still have 5 World Cups, and you guys still only have 3. And the closest national team still only has 4. So you know what? Even though we're at our worst moment in our history, still, you got to try and catch up. But anyways, that's enough of me talking your ear off. Please subscribe, like the video. Appreciate you guys, and peace.